Okay, so what I'm going to implement here is I'm going to implement Central Web Authentication. Okay, basically the guest service. So what I want is I want the guest to authenticate using web authentication. So for that, what I'm going to do is, first of all, what do you need to do is you need to go to policy, you need to go to authentication and change your map rule, something like this. Go to this map rule, click on this edit, go to internal endpoints. Your MAC address should be checked in internal endpoints, but in general cases, normal the defaults is value over here is reject. Okay, so what you have to do first thing is you have to say continue. So even if the MAC address is not found, continue the authentication. Okay, that's the first change what you have to do for this to function. Okay, next thing you have to create two profiles. So basically what you can do is you can go to results, policy element, you can go to policy element, results, go to authorization, go to authorization profile. Okay, now here I've created two profiles. I'll show you both of them. One of them is web portal profile. Basically this is the profile what I want to give to the client, okay, before authentication. So this is for web-based authentication, and what I'm doing in this profile is basically I'm assigning one downloadable ACL with the name pre-webauth. It's a downloadable ACL, okay, which is created under here. So you have to go to authorization, and right below this you go to downloadable ACL. Here you create that pre-webauth ACL. I'll show you how the ACL looks like. This is the ACL. Okay, you add these same entries to your ACL. Okay, and then you can click on this to validate. It says DACL is valid, and you save it. Sorry. Now I am going to assign this particular ACL in that particular profile. So you go to authorization profile, create in this web portal profile. I'm going to use the pre-webauth ACL which I have created under downloadable ACL. Next, what you do is next you select this web redirection here, okay, and under this you make these settings. If it is Central Web Auth, you have to use this particular ACL to redirect your web traffic. Now this is just the name. This is not a downloadable ACL. This is just the name of the ACL, and this ACL is basically available on the switch. I'll show you this on the switch. This is that ACL. The ACL is already available. Do you get this? Okay, so the ACL is available. All I'm going to do is I'm going to use name of this ACL, okay, and this ACL will be used for redirecting the traffic. Okay, well, redirect the traffic where? Redirect the traffic to default portal. Now this is a default portal, okay. Maybe in another video I'll show you how to create a custom web portal page and how to connect, how to call that particular page over here. Basically you would need to go to manual and you need to select the value of that particular page. You get this? Okay, so now what you have to do is you have to further go down. So basically these are your attribute values what will be pushed to the switch. Okay, so access accept, downloadable ACL pre-web auth will be downloaded, and these two ACLs will be pushed as a Cisco AV pair values. So you click and save this. Now this will be used before you authenticate, before web authentication. You have to create another profile, that will be this profile, guest profile. Okay, so the previous I'll show you. So you have to create one profile. What you have to create is this will be used before authentication, and you have to create another profile which is this profile. This will be used after authentication. So you click on this profile and see what is there in this profile. So basically in this profile I'm giving permission to the guest, and it's an internet only access. So basically the access type, radius access type is accept. I'm referring to a downloadable ACL internet only. Basically in this ACL what you have to do is you have to stop the traffic going to your production network, and you should allow the entire TCP UDP traffic towards internet. Okay, so basically that's what is allowed in this internet only ACL. Then I'm giving this VLAN, and I'm assigning it a VLAN, specific VLAN 50. Plus further what I'm doing is giving a reauthentication timer of 600 seconds. Okay, so this is basically what I'm doing over here. And further you go down, scroll down, and so basically these are your attribute values, what you can see here. And finally I'm going to save this. Once you have done this, next what you do is you go to policy, go to authorization policy. Now here basically I'm going to create two policies. You can check the first policy. This policy is for guest. So basically when you will try to authenticate, if you are not using .1x, if you are using .1x, you will use the first policy, which we are not. Second, are we authenticated guests? No, we are not. So you will all the way go to this one, web auth policy, which says if you are doing wired or wireless map, then you should get that web portal policy. Okay, and in web portal policy basically what I'm doing is I'm giving you that pre-web auth ACL, I'm giving you that redirect ACL, and further I'm giving you the URL of the guest portal, okay, which refers to the PSN node. So you will be redirected there. And next, when you try using that particular ACL, you would be able to go and get IP address for, okay. Once you get the IP address, what will happen next is you will go and open your browser, okay, and when you try to browse, your traffic will be redirected to ISE, and on ISE when you will authenticate, then again the policy will be processed and you will match this policy because your username will be in this database guest. So you will basically belong to this group and you would be doing wired map, and that will push you to guest profile. Guest profile will give you VLAN 50, will give you internet only access ACL, and will give you re-authenticate timer of 600 seconds. So that's it. One more change what you have to do is you have to do under administration, web portal, settings. Here go to guest portal. Under guest go to multi-portal configuration. Go to your default guest portal. Leave it as it is. Go to operations, first login, or you can change it to every login. Now what you would see is you would see these one as selected and this one these two as unselected. What you have to do is just for this lab just unselect these two and select these two, okay. And once you have done with this, that's it. Customization is not required. Authentication, you would be checked against guest portal sequence. I'll show you this particular sequence. You just save this, okay. Now let me show you this guest portal sequence. This is available here, administration and identity source sequence. Click on guest portal sequence and you can take a look. This refers to your internal guest user, guest user, and you can move AD as well, Active Directory as well. Finally, make sure this is selected here. So if the user is not found in the previous store, you move to the next store in the sequence. And once you are done with this, we are good to go for the test. So let's go to the client PC, which is here. This is your client PC. We are not running .1x on this particular interface. I'll show you that. Give me a minute. Let me shut down this interface. I shut down this, and I can show you this interface now. So basically, the setting of this interface is .1x is disabled, and you are supposed to dynamically get your IP address and DNS server. Okay. Take a look at the configuration of port number 21. Now this is the port where client is connected. So I'm running only map for the reason because I'm concentrating only on this particular configuration. In real time, the order should be, Cisco recommends that you use the strongest method, which is .1x. So your authentication order should be .1x followed by map, and even your priority should be .1x followed by map. Okay, so what you do is that's the interface configuration of port number 21 where client is connected. All I'm going to do is I'm going to say no shutdown here, and you can simultaneously have a look at both the interfaces. Now if you look at this output here, basically it says started map, and it says your map was successful, and as a result because of the ACL you were able to get the IP address. After that, a pre-auth ACL was download successful, and hence you could get IP address for yourself. Okay, on successful IP address assignment, further these policies were downloaded. A URL redirect was downloaded. Now if you observe, this redirects you to ISE for further read to the guest portal, and further redirect policy was applied, which says ACL, and this ACL is already available on the switch. So if you check the IP access list on interface G1/0/21 where the client is connected, okay, now if you'll closely look, these are the entries of your pre-webauth ACL. Okay, and this ACL is already available on switch. You can check it here, show IP. Okay, so basically this is a downloadable ACL. This is downloaded from the ISE, and this ACL was pre-configured on switch. So this ACL will redirect you to the web page. Now if you go to the client machine, you would see you have already received IP address, and that's your DNS server. Now because of this ACL, what is applied here, which allows you to ping for troubleshooting purpose, you would see that you can ping in the network. So you can try to ping ISE. There you go. Okay, you can try to ping your DNS server. So basically you have connectivity, and now that's when the normal tendency is the client would go to the browser. Okay, and he would try to browse something, maybe HTTP. He'll HTTP to so initially he won't get access, but what will happen is he will get redirected to ISE. Do you see your URL? ice.ccacademy.com 8443 guest book. Now here basically you have to use the login what is given in the database. So basically it could be any login in this particular group, any user of this group. Okay, So basically what I'm going to do is identities, guest one, we'll use this login on the client machine. So here is your client. So client says GUEST guest one CISE 0123 and you sign in. Once you sign in, now this is before signing in. So if you check your authentication on the switch, this is before authentication. So here at this moment, this is before authentication. The policy what you have got is web portal policy, okay, which there's no VLAN assignment, there's no session timeout time here, okay. Plus you get this page, you should get redirected to this page of ISE guest portal page, and this ACL was downloaded and applied for you, okay. Now let me show you the operation here under authentication. Let's see the sessions, what is happening here, the results. It says you got authenticated using your MAC address and you got web portal profile, and the method of your authentication was MAB, okay. And it says as a result of this, if you look closely at this, pre-web auth ACL was downloaded. And if you go and click on this detail page, you will come to know what are the attributes which were pushed to the network admission device, the switch 6. A redirect URL was given and a ACL was given and a redirect URL was given. Plus your all these were pushed in Cisco AV pen, okay. So here in this case the profile what is assigned to you is web auth policy. So if you go back to ISE and check your authorization policies, basically you have got web auth policy. You have received web auth policy. This policy is applied for you. Policy applied is web auth policy, okay. Now now when the client will authenticate, basically what will happen is you will match this particular policy. So let's go to the client and continue the process. So you have to accept this, click on accept. Once you accept this, once you accept this AUP, your IP address will be renewed. If you're prompted for some Java applets or something, you please accept the Java applets, okay, or ActiveX, whatever it is, you just accept it. Basically the NAG agent will run and so you get a message, you are now connected to the network, close all browser windows and open a new browser window to continue. So what I'm going to do is, the actual IP address what I was supposed to browse was and this time you get connected. And I try to authenticate myself and I reach my device, okay. So basically with the profile what is applied to you is now the another profile, and let's go back to ISE and network admission device, the authenticator, and check this. So basically now this time you are applied this profile which gave you guest profile. So first of all you can verify the authentication report here, which says you authenticated using guest and you were given guest profile, and your method of authentication, you're just authorized, basically what you have done is web auth, okay. And if you will check here and this one, check the details here, this will tell you that your VLAN tag of 50 was pushed, and the user who is authenticated is a guest 1, and this is the ACL what is applied. So if you notice, this ACL is a separate ACL. Previously the ACL what was applied was pre-auth ACL, and this time the ACL what is applied is a different ACL. So basically what you do is you can further go to switch 6 and you would realize that VLAN 50 was assigned, okay, and the ACL was downloaded again and was applied on that particular interface. So this is applied on interface number 21. So have a look. This was the result before authentication, okay, and you were authenticated based on your MAC address here. Now look at the result. Show authentication. Or you can use that one. Now this time it's different. Guest is connected here. You are assigned VLAN 50. A separate ACL is downloaded for you, and a re-authentication timer is pushed. Okay, so basically, still your authentication is MAB only. You are re-authenticated for MAB twice. Okay, and what you can check further is your ACLs. Okay, and this is the ACL what is applied on interface. You can check it. These entries are same as, and you could reach that particular page because of this. So if I go back to the client and if I try to do something like this, if I try to do something like this, this should result into denying your connection. Okay, the page cannot be displayed, and here also the page cannot be displayed, and this should be because what you're trying to access is something here, okay, which doesn't let you go. Fine. So that's it for this lab. So the lab entirely concentrates on guest access, and what I'm trying to show you is centralized or central web authentication. Okay, you can see the reports over here. Basically you can further go and look at the flow here, steps, how it was processed, and apart from this, yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching.